Hey, what's up, everybody? Today I'm specifically talking to parents. I think it's time I made a video for everybody to kind of walk you through how to deal with DHS. Um, let's pull this up. I don't need that on there like that. There we go. All right. So, the first thing, let's say you're sitting home and you get a phone call. Out of nowhere, you're going to get a phone call, and they're going to say, this is so and so from the Department of Human Services, or they'll say they're Child Protective Services, etc., etc. And then they'll say, well, you have, X amount of days or whatever to comply with what we're telling you, or we're going to have to do an ex parte removal and remove your kids from the home and this and that. And them saying that in and of itself is illegal. They have no power to threaten that. They don't make the call whether your kids are removed from your home or not. If the police and DHS show up to your house at the same time and there's no court order from a judge, DHS does not have the authority to remove those children. The police do if a crime is being committed, but if the children are not in direct risk and there's no crime being committed, they can't take your kids. Now, that being said, you're going to get this phone call and they're going to be like, I'm so-and-so from blah, blah, blah. When can we schedule for a home visit and this and that? Never let them into your home. Never. Never, 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 never. You have the Fourth Amendment for a reason. Them coming into your home and telling you they have to see your home and do all this other stuff is a violation of your Fourth Amendment right to privacy and right to be secure in all your belongings and safety of your belongings and for yourself. And it also should fall under the grounds of a warrantless search. But if you give them permission to come in, that is a whole different ballgame. Now, you can't say, you're not talking to my kids, we're not going to comply. Then they will get the ex parte removal on the grounds that they need to talk to the kids. And if you're unwilling to let them talk to the kids in any capacity, then they will remove your children. I am telling you now, they will. Now, what you can do is you schedule it at their office. And you go into their offices and have your meeting. You don't let them question your children without you. And you pick and choose like your lawyer would for you when talking to the police, if your lawyer allows you to talk to the police, which is just stupid. But if they did, you would, you want to have them, not, answer certain things. You have the right to privacy. You have the right to family secrets. As long as you're not molesting your kids, as long as you're not horribly beating your kids, as long as you're not having a meth lab in the house with your kids, they really have no grounds to take your kids. Period. You have the right to spank your kids. You have the right to discipline your kids. Yes, you can send them to bed without dinner, believe it or not. It is not a criminal offense. DHS and CPS will try to tell you that type of stuff is, but it's not. Now, I'm not a lawyer. Don't claim to be, because I'm not corrupt, first of all. Lawyers are innately corrupt. Every last family lawyer knows that they're violating the law every day that CPS exists. And they know it. And they prosper off of it. I mean, don't believe me? Go ask some parents how much they've paid out the butt. Completely like mortgaging their houses, selling off their cars, everything to try to get their kids back once DHS has taken them. And the lawyers never come through, but do they give any of the money back? When they fail you, when they fail to uphold your basic rights as a parent, no. They don't refund your money. They take your thousands of dollars and they run to the bank with it. Why do you think no lawyers sue DHS? Because they're all on the take, man. I couldn't get a lawyer to represent me, and that's why I had to represent myself. This is the amount of paperwork that I have from DHS literally fucking with me. Okay? So, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to CPS. My specific case is they think it's horrible that somebody uses medicinal cannabis. Well, that's not their call, and that's not their problem. They don't have any right to tell me anything. And I beat them in court over and over and over and over again. 9 times. 9 times they've brought cases against me simply for smoking weed. And yet, not once have they removed a child from my home. Not once have they brought me into an actual courtroom and charged me with anything. Nothing. But I did try to perform a citizen's arrest on a DHS worker for deprivation of rights under the color of law and fraud. Police said I was in the right, but they couldn't do anything about it because cops don't have the power to uphold federal law, unless they're specialized deputies like what they did in Portland. Then they can enforce federal law. But otherwise, they can't enforce your constitutional rights. They can't do anything for you. I did a video a couple years ago, it's on this channel, of 9 Supreme Court rulings every parent should know. Those same 9 rules still apply. The same 9 rulings. I'm not going to go over them all again today, but a few of the biggest ones is Quilloin versus Walcott, 434 U.S. 246, 1978. We have recognized on numerous occasions that the relationship between parent and child is constitutionally protected. We have little doubt that the Due Process Clause would be offended, quote, if a state were to attempt to force the breakup of a natural family over the objections of the parents and their children without some showing of unfitness and for the sole reason that to do so was, quote, thought to be in the children's best interest. How many times have you heard DHS say that? Oh, the best interest of the child. We're just worried about the best interest of the child. Well, explain to me, if you're worried about the best interest of the child, why is it that children are 90% more likely to be molested or killed within the foster care system than they are staying at the homes of people, no matter how abusive they are? Answer me that one, DHS. Why is it when I was in Tanager Place, Hillcrest, and MHI here in Iowa, every single place except Tanager had kids getting molested left and right? Where were you for that? You don't care. DHS workers are nothing but state-sanctioned kidnappers, operating under the color of law, not actual law. And everything they do on a daily basis is a violation of federal law. Where's the FBI? Oh, that's right. They're too busy trying to perform a soft coup on the president. Just like here's another one. Oh, and by the way, that ruling again was 1978. Almost 43 years ago. Over 42 years ago, they made that ruling. And yet here we are today, still dealing with DHS kidnapping kids. Number 8 on my, that was number 4 on my list. I have rulings going all the way back to 1925 telling you that the state can't tell you shit about your kids. Number 7 on my list, sorry, before I get to number 8. Number 7, Reno versus Flores, 507 U.S. 292, 1993. Quote, the best interests of the child, end quote, is a venerable phrase familiar from divorce proceedings, is a proper and feasible criterion for making the decision as to which of 2 parents will be awarded custody. But it is not traditionally the sole criterion, much less the sole constitutional criterion for other, less narrowly channeled judgments involving children, where their interests conflict in varying degrees with the interests of others. Quote, the best interests of the child, end quote, is not the legal standard that governs parents or guardians' exercise of their custody, so long as certain minimum requirements of child care are met. The interests of the child may be subordinated to the interests of other children, or indeed even to the interests of the parents or guardians themselves. Number 8, Washington versus Glucksberg, 521 U.S. 702, 1997. In a long line of cases, we have held that in addition to the specific freedoms protected by the Bill of Rights, the, quote, liberty specially protected by the Due Process Clause includes the rights to direct the education and upbringing of one's children, which means disciplining your children, which means teaching your children what you actually want to teach them, how you want to teach them, not based off of some garbage from the school system or the state. The 14th Amendment forbids the government to infringe fundamental liberty interests of all, no matter what process is provided, unless the infringement is narrowly tailored to serve a compelling state interest. And by that, you have to actually be doing something wrong. The 14th Amendment forbids the government to infringe fundamental liberty interests of all, no matter what. Troxel versus Granville, number 9. This was number 530 U.S. 57, year 2000. The liberty interest at issue in this case, the interest of parents in the care, custody, and control of their children, is perhaps the oldest and fundamental liberty interest recognized by this court. In light of this extensive precedent, it cannot now be doubted that the due process of the 14th Amendment protects the fundamental right of parents to make decisions concerning the care, custody, and control of their children. The problem here is not that the Washington Superior Court intervened, but that when it did so, it gave no special weight at all to Granville's determination of her daughter's own best interests. More importantly, it appears that the Superior Court applied exactly the opposite presumption. The Due Process Clause does not permit a state to infringe on the fundamental right of parents to make child-rearing decisions simply because a state judge believes a, quote, better decision could be made, end quote. They have no power unless you grant it to them. Don't let them in your house. Only let your children be interviewed at their offices, and only let them answer questions that you feel they need to know the answers to. They're going to poke and pry and whatever, and you tell them, then you know what? You go file what you got to file, and you know what? You turn around and you let them confirm their little report or found their report or whatever they're going to do. Because in the end, they're going to do that anyway. So many times they've founded it on me for no reason, and then I turn around and I do this crazy thing. It's called appeal the decision. The day you get your paperwork for your decision of what the DHS worker thinks they're going to do, that's when you file with the state. And then you get an actual court hearing with an administrative law judge. And then you can make them look stupid in open court, just like I did. You can get them to commit perjury. You can get them to commit fraud, to where they throw your case out. Because if you let them take your kids from your custody, your chance of keeping your kids is gone. It's gone. Yeah, there's some people that fight forever and ever and ever, and after several years, they maybe get their kids back, but realistically, what's the cost? If your child is 7 now, and you don't get them back till they're 13, you missed out on all that time. You were screwed by the state. It's time to start suing these individuals. Sue these DHS workers. Sue the Department of Human Services. Sue the Child Protective Services. Time to sue the states individually, the state themselves, for allowing this to happen, because they all benefit from the Kids for Cash program set up by Bill Clinton. This all started under Bill Clinton in the 90s. This isn't new, people. The Kids for Cash profit is real. Police get money from that fund. Courts get money from that fund. Schools get money from that fund. Parks and Recreation get money from that fund. Everybody gets money from the Kids for Cash program. That's why nobody stops it. That's why nobody does anything about it. They're all complicit. And they don't give a shit. They don't care. They don't care about us. They don't care about you. They don't care about your kids. They don't care about anything except getting paid and kidnapping kids. It's a scam. It is a complete scam. Now, when you file your appeal, they're going to give you a hearing date, and you can choose to either do it over the phone or do it in person. Me, I chose the last one. I did the first 2 over the phone. Last one I did in person, and I made him have to look me in the face. I drove my ass 3 hours away, stayed overnight in a hotel so I could be up bright and early at 8 a.m. to be at their little hearing in their little fake courtroom where the judge didn't even know how to use the phone to get a conference call. Because they're not actually used to using the phones in courtrooms. They're used to just calling you from their office. But, again, don't take my word for it. You can hear it for yourself. Let's see here. Last appeal hearing.
Good morning, Ms. Hausner. This is Administrative Law Judge Carrie Anderson. We're getting ready for the hearing on Mr. May's appeal. Good morning. Good morning. I just want to make sure, can you folks hear all right? Okay, good. I want to tell you who all is in the room. Mr. May is here, and then Teresa Bosting is here for the department, and Ms. Martins is here as a witness on behalf of Mr. May. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go ahead at this point then, unless I just want to make sure any questions, any statements before we go on the record, Ms. Bosting? No, Your Honor. Mr. May? No. All right. All right, we are on the record today in case number 15008631. The appellant in this matter is Jason May. The Iowa Department of Human Services is the respondent. My name is Carrie Anderson. I'm an administrative law judge with the Iowa Department. To review the...
And see, I just went along with it and I let them say their piece. Let them do their thing.
His dad was denied.
And I sat there and I had to bite my tongue and listen to all the lies and the bullshit.
Could you state your name in this allegation during the course?
Having
get a call to DH.
gives me
You can hear me throw them under the bus.
the authority, I guess, to do that. The safety claims simply are
Not go off the record, sir.
Okay.
fear that the father would continue to be physically aggressive towards him, and fear of his past physical abuse towards his mother and himself.
Did you reach any conclusions, your conclusion with regard to registry placement?
Yes, the report was registered. The report was placed on the child abuse registry.
And what was your rationale for reaching that result?
Given the history of physical aggression, both to the child and domestically towards the mother, I felt the incident was not minor, was not isolated, and I couldn't say it was.
And again, they felt. We feel this. We feel that. Well, it's not up to you to feel anything. It's up to facts.
Those are all I have. Thank you, Ms. Housingate.
Mr. May, cross-examination?
Yeah. Were you ever involved in any of my prior cases with DHS?
I had to have police come and get her to leave my property because she was there without cause. She refused to leave.
And what was the results of that prior report?
I don't recall exactly.
I can tell you, not confirmed, not founded, because she didn't want to try to mess with me in court.
Isn't it true that when you
So
came
this
to my
case-
home unannounced on that report that I had to have you removed by police?
No.
So I didn't have to call 911 to have you removed from my property by Officer Housingay and his supervisor?
No.
Flat out committing perjury. Nothing ever
I
happened
moved you
to her
off
for
the
that
record.
either.
No. If you've got something...
Come into family court and you flat out
what do you
lie.
need to deal with? We don't need to go off the record.
Sure we do. She's lying under oath.
That doesn't mean you go off the record. If you have something you want to impeach her testimony with...
At
we
this
need
point
to
in
do it on
time,
the
she's
record.
committing perjury.
We do not go off the record, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So you're saying that I did not
I
call
tried to stop the
911
hearing
that
and go off
day?
the record at that
So that's
point,
not what I said.
and they wouldn't stop.
Did the
hearing.
police respond that day?
The police did respond to your home on that day, yes.
And ultimately, what happened?
At the time, I was speaking to, I believe it was your girlfriend at the moment, on the front porch with...
But yeah, you get the idea. You get them in court and you smash them. Don't argue with them at your house. Don't let them come to your house. If they come to your house unannounced, they come to your house threatening anything, and they don't actually have a court order, call the cops and have them freaking removed. You don't got to put up with the harassment. And then you get a no trespass order on that DHS worker because she's there illegally, threatening to kidnap your children, operating under the color of law. Like, for example, here's color of law. Federal law provides that it is a crime to violate the rights of a citizen under the color of law. You can be arrested for this crime. You can also be held personally liable for civil damages. Attempting to cause a person to do something by telling that person that such action is required by law when it is not is maybe a felony. 18 U.S.C. 242 provides that whoever under any color of law, under color of any law, statute, ordinance, regulation, or custom, willfully subjects any person in a state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district to the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured or protected by the Constitution or laws or both. Basically, if you violate anybody's personal rights, it's a crime. And the fact that these state employees are allowed to do it every single day and nothing happens to them is a complete scam. Now, the fact that these, in certain circumstances, violating certain people's rights can get you the death penalty. But again, they do nothing about it. They don't stop any of it. Even though it's federal law, they don't care. Cops can't do nothing about it. DHS ain't going to stop doing it because there's too much cash in it for everybody. And that's the bottom line, is you have to be able to defend yourself from these corrupt tyrants. Don't expect even a high-priced lawyer is a corrupt piece of crap. Every one of them. Every lawyer that is doing family court law that has ever lost a case is a piece of shit. Because I got news for y'all. I've dealt with 9 cases. 9. Never lost one. Till these lawyers can say that one, I got nothing to say to them. This is attorney Natalie Kronk. She's a lawyer that here in Iowa that actually took the time out to sue DHS. She told me my case was unwinnable. Yeah, told me both cases actually were unwinnable. Told me I was crazy. But again, she's a lawyer. She's in the little pool. They all are. They're all corrupt. And if they want to try to sue me, fine, I'll see you in court, bud. I don't care who you are. Any lawyer. You want to try to sue me for calling you a corrupt piece of shit? Go for it. Go for it. I'll make you look like the corrupt piece of shit that you are in open court. Your court records are public. I can see who you sent down the river for a better deal for somebody else. I'm not stupid. I know how the game is played. I'm not the one. And then you get stupid things like this, where they're given literal immunity for, filing false charges and slander. Slander and libel. They're explicitly on the list of excluded claims. She's also immune to allegations of physical and mental abuse, which are not torts, but appear to be functional equivalent of assault. She is also immune to the claims of obtaining false information and breach of verbal contract, as they are the equivalent of misrepresentation or deceit. Like I said, these social workers can do whatever they want, and the goddamn lawyers go along with it. Attorney General goes along with it. At least that's, and that's here in Iowa. They're corrupt as hell. And it's a joke. This is why they need to carry personal insurance. This is why they need to be suable. The reason I don't sue is because why should you as taxpayers have to pay me millions of dollars because DHS violated my rights? Why do the schools have to lose money? Why does law enforcement have to lose money? Why that money has to come from somewhere when these people lose lawsuits? I'm not that greedy. But I'm not going to sit by anymore and watch you all harass everybody. Not anymore. I took a break from helping out people like the Family Preservation Project and other organizations because it's so stressful on me that I hate telling parents that I can't help you. That we trusted our lawyer and our kid got taken away and now we're trying to get him back, and I'm just sitting here going, you're not going to get him back. Come to that realization now. You're not going to get your kids back. Once they take them, they're gone. The odds of you getting your kids back are slim to none. And they'll never let you go. They're going to keep you on a constant home visits and surveillance, monitoring and stuff all the time, forever. Making you pay for it too. Making you pay for those services. You know, they'll contract you out to somebody like Lutheran Social Services or some other, family services place that's going to do nothing but screw you over. They won't come to court on your behalf. They won't even write a letter of recommendation that you're a good parent. So don't jump through their hoops. Don't give them your time, your money, your effort, your energy. None of it. It's all a scam. And that's what hurts me the most, is that I have to tell parents literally on a weekly basis that I can't help you. That there's nothing I can do. You trusted your lawyer. You trusted the courts to do the right thing. You trusted the DHS workers to not be corrupt pieces of crap. And now you lost your kids. And once they're gone, they're gone. And that's what kills me. That's why I had to stop doing this. But now, instead of being sad, I'm going to get fucking angry. And anybody who wants help, I'll help you. You need help writing up an appeal? Let me know. You need help doing any of that stuff? Let me know. Because I've had enough. Short of representing you in court, I can hand you everything you need to win. All you got to do is present it. I've had several friends that tried to handle everything on their own with high-priced lawyers, and they ended up losing their kids for no reason. For no reason at all. And I can't do it anymore. I can't let this stuff happen anymore. So I'm not on Facebook really anymore. Just leave something in the comments, and I'll get back to you on YouTube or through Gmail if anybody needs help with things, because I can't sit by. But I can only help you if you're in Iowa. If you're outside of Iowa, I'm not going to take the time to learn your state's lingo. They're all a little bit different. They're all worded a little different. The difference is the 9 Supreme Court rulings. Look up that video. And get them all and take them all in and admit them as evidence, because I've done it, and they have all been administered in court already. So they can be used in any court now. They can be used by anybody in any court, because the precedent for them to be used in family court's already been set by me. And if your lawyer, if you have one, if you're on that route, if your lawyer wants to know what those cases are, and your lawyer wants to try to figure something out, then yeah, have your lawyer get a hold of me somehow, because any lawyer that's worth a grain of salt should know this stuff. If I can learn it and I can know it, but then again, I didn't get permission to go to their law school. Instead, I downloaded all the law books and read them all myself. I studied finance law, tax law, business law, internet law, criminal law, family law. Yet I can't take the bar because I have no law degree. But I can't go to college to get a law degree because I don't have permission from a board of directors at a law school to attend. Yeah, sounds a bit corrupt, doesn't it? Whereas if I lived in New Jersey or California, I could walk in as a citizen of those states and take the bar. But I still can't practice outside of those states without being able to take the bar in each individual state. So I could move to California, live there for a year, take the bar, pass that, become a lawyer in California, but I still can't practice in Iowa. Because Iowa, even though I'm a lawyer in another state, won't let me take the Iowa law bar without a law degree. How's that not corrupt? If I can show sufficient knowledge of the material and I can show a vested usage of the material, why can't I actually take the test to prove that I'm a lawyer? Oh, that's right, because you don't want people like me in your corrupt little system. Because people like me would overthrow it in a heartbeat. Half the crap the state and cities do is completely illegal. And not just on a common sense basis, it's illegal federally. And they want to act like we're supposed to bow down and just follow these policies. Well, I got news for you. It's not going to happen. And I sure as hell ain't following it anymore. I was threatened they were going to charge me with practicing law without a license for helping people keep their kids. But that state attorney general is no longer the attorney general. So it's fair game now. And if they really want to try, go ahead. Go ahead. I don't care. What more are you going to take from me? I can't vote. I can't run for office. Can't drive. Can't own any property because you'll seize it. So what else are you going to do to me? What, you going to try to lock me up again? Good luck with that. I'm not committing a crime. Showing people where all the information is on the internet and giving them legal materials to read over and represent themselves is not a crime. Period. Because if it were, then why do we have family court activists? Why do we have, adjudication sections of the code where you have citizen volunteers and representatives that come in to help represent? You explain that to me. But I can't take it anymore, and I won't. And I'm going to help people. But you have to be in Iowa. If you're in Michigan or California or Arizona, I'm sorry, but I can't learn every state's laws to be able to help every family. I can't do it. I would like to. Believe me, I'd like to. But everything I talk about federal law-wise applies to you too. They have a very finite amount of leeway that they get of where they can go with their stuff and what they can do. And yeah, they're going to steamroll right past that and go completely off the rails all the time. They always do, because nobody is there to hold them in check. What, the state ombudsman? The fat, lazy dingleberry here in Iowa that can't be, bothered to call anybody back? The guy that doesn't bother even checking into written complaints? Iowa's ombudsman's office is a freaking joke. They should be brought up on charges. How do you get a paycheck and not do nothing for the people of this goddamn state? You explain that to me. Because I've filed over 11 complaints with the ombudsman's office, and I've never heard a comment back, never seen a court case, never seen nothing. Never seen a drop of paperwork, nothing from them. Useless. And every single state legislator that allows this to happen, you're useless too. Every single one of you that supports this type of crap, you're useless. And the worst ones are the ones that were family court lawyers that became legislators that still allow this to happen. How are you not complicit in these crimes? How are you not getting arrested right along with these people? Oh, that's right, because everybody's on the take. And with that, I will end this vid because I'm starting to get pissed and I don't want it to ruin my evening. But just know, parents, there is going to be help out there now. I am going to step up and start helping people with their cases and start helping you win against this corrupt entity that's kidnapping our kids. It's time for it to stop. And so with that, peace out, everybody. Good luck. Love y'all. Peace.